Boston Bruins lose Game 6, and now we are headed to a Game 7 against the Toronto Maple Leafs. And really, all I have to say is that the Boston Bruins are in big trouble. And I'll be talking about here in this video what we learned from this game, what we know going ahead in the next game, and what's wrong with the Boston Bruins, because we have a serious issue that we need to discuss. But before we get into all of this madness, I noticed that 81% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel. It would really mean the world to me if you could hit the sub button. Hopefully we see more than one more game for this season, and I'd love to have you there after a Game 7. So make sure to hit the sub button and join me along here. I'll give you guys all the news that we have to offer for this Boston Bruins team. But like I said, we have a major issue, and that is because the Bruins are in very big trouble once again for back-to-back years. And like I said, the Maple Leafs win this one 2-1 in Game 6, now heading to a Game 7 in Boston. But I honestly don't know what we just seen. I really have no idea. This team has disappeared. This team has really disappeared after Game 4. From what we had seen until now, this team is not the same. I got a few screenshots here I'll show you, so just give me one moment. But this really, I don't understand how this happened. If you've watched this whole series, you know that from Games 1 to Game 4, apart from Game 2, this Boston Bruins team was insane. They were very, very good, outplaying the Maple Leafs in certain scenarios, just about every scenario in the games that they won. And now they are nowhere to be seen. But, you know, things are happening on both sides. The Maple Leafs are getting better without Austin Matthews, and the Boston Bruins are getting worse with the exact same lineup. And this really is just driving me nuts, to be honest with you. But I'm going to pull up our first screenshot here, just from Roger Lajoie here, or Lajoie, I don't know how to pronounce it, I do apologize. 6 straight losses now for the Bruins in series closeout games. Looking at a third straight first-round elimination, lost Game 7 at home last year to the Panthers, lost Game 7 at home to the Blues in 2019 Cup Final. The Leafs have their demons, but so does Boston in Game 7 Saturday. So, we know the Maple Leafs history. I'm not going to go too much into that because the Boston Bruins are becoming something along the lines of that as well. And I don't want to mention anything like that will bring any bad luck to the Boston Bruins here in Game 7, because we're going to need all the luck we can get here in this upcoming game. But we have to realize that this Game 7 is do or die. You know, this is really what this team needs to acknowledge, needs to take into consideration. This team seems like they're playing the final games of the preseason right now. This is not. This could be the final games, yes, but of the playoffs and of the season. I can't believe that what we've seen, the drop-off from this team, from, you know, the beginning of the playoffs, the series, the beginning of the series till now, has been ridiculous. And it's also due to a lot of players as well. And this comes from Bruins Network here. Pastrnak, McAvoy, Marchand, Coyle, Zacha, Lindholm, and Jim Montgomery have completely shrunk since that 3-1 lead. Now, I will be willing to take out Charlie McAvoy here. He's been really good over these past few games. Still a few blunders here and there, which really should not be done. But another stranglehold that crumbled to reveal yet another Game 7 in Boston. Not over till it's over, but jobs are on the line here for players and coaches, in my opinion. And Bruins Network, I don't know if you're watching this, I doubt it, but I completely agree with you. You know, that really is the final straw. If this happens back-to-back years with pretty much the same players. Now, I know this roster was not supposed to get to this point, not supposed to be as good as they were, I guess you could say, here on this season, but getting to this point, proving everybody wrong, and now you're just stopping? I don't understand what could have happened to some of the top names, as you can see there, on this. And one in particular that I want to talk about, and I'm guessing you know who that is as well, is David Pastrnak. Jim Montgomery had to say this immediately after the game in the post-game press conference, saying that Pasta needs to step up. Yeah, you know, Jim Montgomery, that's a pretty fair thing to say, is that David Pastrnak needs to step up. And I don't know what he said to this team in between the periods. I don't know what he said to them, you know, in between games in the past few break days, but I don't think he's doing enough to try and put the impact of this game, this series, into this team's mind, because surely after playing last game, if Montgomery had to say something about this team not playing good enough to be able to even get a win against half of the NHL teams that aren't in the playoffs here last game, they would have, you know, changed it up a bit to make sure that they put their full effort in to get a win here tonight in Toronto, where they've been playing the best without Austin Matthews, with Jeremy Swayman still in net and continuing to still play very, very good, and none of this series is on him. A goalie that, is playing to the caliber of him should not lose in a situation like we've seen over these past few games for the Boston Bruins. So, really, realistically, I don't know what Jim Montgomery, the top players on this team, the leadership group, is doing over these past few games, but whatever they're doing, it's not enough, and that's become evident here in these last 2 games. And I expect the Bruins to come out here next game, in Game 7, playing exactly like they have. If nothing has changed over those 2 games, I don't see why anything would change here for Game 7. I hope I'm extremely wrong. I hope this team proves me wrong, comes out here, dominates the game, but I have no confidence in that from what I've seen in these past 2 games from this team. And the frustration on this whole series, this past few games, is driving me insane. I didn't enjoy watching this game tonight, knowing that what we've seen is not the Boston Bruins that we know. And it completely just makes me irritated with this team. I'm sure there's many people out there with me. I'm sure that the knowledge of the past series that we had seen last season is going to come back into the mind of just about everybody here, if it already hasn't. For me, after that loss, last game, not the game today, the last game, that was in my mind already, and then tonight, and now it's to a point where I have no hope in this team. I really don't, but I hope this team proves me wrong. But we know anything can happen in the Game 7 against the Boston Bruins and the Toronto Maple Leafs. These 2 guys have a very, very fond history of each other, and this comes from their series, from their 2013-2018 series. So far, both series, or 3 of the series, have played out the exact same way every game so far. Boston, Toronto, Boston, Boston, Toronto, Toronto, and then Boston in 13 and 18 in the Game 7s. But this year, I don't know. The Maple Leafs team still very, very good. They know their history, but this team was not really involved in 13 or 18. The majority of the players now on this Maple Leafs team don't care about that now that they have the monkey off their back and they won a series last year. So Boston, it really has everything to lose here, and Toronto has nothing. I'm to a point now where I really don't know what we're going to see, what team we're going to see here next game. I hope it's the one we want to see, though. And this is another thing from Tyler Bertuzzi, who knows what this is like from the Boston Bruins standpoint. He says, I think everybody over there is frustrated. That's exactly, at least what me and other fans are, feeling. And I'm sure more than us, these players are knowing that as well, but just haven't been able to catch a break here. But, we're at a point now where whatever happens, happens. There's nothing we can do about it as fans. We can only cheer this team on for the Game 7 that's going to be here on Saturday and hope that they can get a win and turn this series completely around back in their favor. But once again, I don't know if that's going to happen. This team hasn't showed me any signs of that happening. And frankly, we don't know if this is even going to happen in Game 7, if they are going to turn it around. And these series here, or these past series, really come back to save the day for us and haunt the Maple Leafs. But, let me know what you think about this game, what you think about a Game 7 here Saturday. I'll be making more videos. I tried to do a video earlier today. YouTube was messing up on me, so couldn't do one earlier, but decided to do one now. I'll do some more videos, some live streams as well. I want to get you guys involved in the conversation, know what you guys think, because we need to group together and believe in this team, because I don't know if I can do it by myself anymore. So let me know what you think, like I said, about this game in a Game 7, but that's all I got here. Make sure to hit the like button, sub as well if you don't want to miss out on any Boston Bruins news, but that's all I got. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later.